So good morning everyone. This is going to be our fourth experiment, and on the second instrument, that is 4-stroke single cylinder diesel engine, and this is the engine that is used for the agriculture purpose. So we are going to study the performance analysis. Now before we go to the experiment, let us understand the entire construction. So as I said, it's a single cylinder, okay, and we have seen in the experiment number 1, the fuel injector is the differentiator. So you can see instead of this spark plug, we have a distributor or the fuel injector. So fuel will be injected from here. So from this I can identify it's a diesel engine, not the petrol engine. Okay, so it's a single cylinder. So this is the single cylinder, and there is a crankshaft. Okay, so a cylinder and there is a crankshaft, and you have seen this flywheel, right? Now this flywheel is connected with the eddy current dynometer. Our objective here is to see how much is the load on the engine, and for that we are going to use eddy current dynometer. So we will supply current and we will increase the load on the engine through this eddy current dynamometer. Actually we are measuring the torque on the engine by this eddy current dynamometer. So this is here is the piston, here is the cylinder, and here is the crankshaft. Okay, and the fuel from this fuel tank, it is coming from here. This is the pitot tube that will measure how much fuel is consumed over time, and then from the fuel from here, it is coming to here. Then the fuel is supplied from here, it is coming to the filter. So it will filter and then will come to the pump. So we know that there is a pressurized pump and the injector. So this is called the fuel injection system. Pump and the injector together is a fuel injection system. So fuel from here it is injected, right? So at the appropriate timing, at the end of the compression stroke, the fuel will be injected. Okay, so fuel actually is coming not this line, it is this line. You can see metallic line. It's a high pressure fuel. It is injected here, and the excess fuel is returned. So this is a return line. So from the this pump through this metallic line, the fuel is injected into the injector, and excess fuel will come back. Then there will be compression, ignition, and combustion. So what happens? For proper preparation of the charge, we require the air. So this line is taking the atmospheric air, and there is a orifice meter that will measure the air flow. So orifice meter is here, and then the air is coming in, that is supplied to the cylinder. So this injected diesel particles, molecules, the droplets, and the air will mix. Combustion will take place, and then the exhaust is coming out here. So you can see there is an exhaust line. Okay, it is coming here. Now our objective here is that out of the total energy produced by burning the fuel, how much power is produced by the engine. So that power we are measuring the torque and the RPM. So we have the eddy current dynometer. Then some of the heat is taken by the exhaust gas. Whatever exhaust gas is coming out, it is coming at the high temperature. So some of the energy is going out in the exhaust gas, and then this engine, you know the temperature of combustion is around close to 1000 degrees Celsius. So entire cylinder is heated up. So what we do? We supply the coolant. So here you can see that the water from the tap, it is coming here. So we have the rotameter. So we'll measure how much water is supplied to the engine. So from here you can see the green color line, it's a cold line. The water is supplied to the engine. Okay. So this is the coolant which is supplied, and then it will be circulated around the cylinder, and the hot coolant is coming out, and that is exhausted. So we can measure how much energy is absorbed by the water. That is the amount of energy utilized for cooling the engine. Okay. We also want to measure the energy which is leaving the exhaust gas. So what we are doing? We are using the additional heat exchanger, that is called the calorimeter. So what we do? We supply this exhaust gas to the calorimeter, and through the tube we are supplying the coolant. Okay. So there is another line for the coolant. So coolant is supplied. Coolant is the water that is supplied to the calorimeter. So there is a cross flow heat exchanger. So through the tube, water is passing, and surrounding the tube inside this exhaust gas are passing. So there is an energy exchange between the water and the exhaust gas. So the cold water is entering and the hot water is coming out of the engine, this calorimeter. So whatever energy absorbed by the coolant, it is amount of energy rejected by this exhaust gas. So that is how we can measure the energy. So out of the 100% energy produced by the burning of the fuel, some of the energy is utilized by the engine, that we are measuring from the dynamometer. Some energy is going to the atmosphere in terms of the exhaust gas, and some of the energy is taken by the coolant. Okay, so these three measure from the energy we are going to measure. and the air which is coming here, we have this. Okay, so we have this U-tube manometer that will measure the pressure difference, and from that we can find out how much is the air flow rate through the engine. That's all. Thank you.